And welcome back to another episode of Life in Prison. As always, my name is Zach. For the ones who don't know, unfortunately, I spent 5 years of my life in maximum security prison, Mount Olive Correctional Complex in Huntsville Correctional Center. Since getting out, I've received my medical degree, and I'm currently working in urgent care, helping others who unfortunately cannot help themselves. What I do in this channel is I speak about my time in prison along with getting out. I also do video chat interviews with inmates still locked up in prison, regardless of for murder, drug charges, robbery, just showing you a first-hand look what it's really actually like living life in prison. You can shoot guns, you can sell dope, but at the end of the day, it's going to get you a 7x12, and you're not going to like it. I hope you sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy this episode, because today what we're going to be getting into is going on missions while in prison. In the past, I've spoken about having to do different things while in prison, especially, unfortunately, if you end up joining a prison organization or a gang. Well, this is one of the things that is going to happen whenever you join either or. So I hope you never end up having to do either or. Don't go down that path so you never have to find out. So what's going to happen is going on a mission is pretty much this. Step one, if you don't do what you're told, you're going to become the mission now. So if you're told to go stab somebody up, go kill somebody, go beat someone up, and you don't do it, whatever you were supposed to do, that person is coming to you. So when I say if you're not really a fighter, right? So this is normally what happens. A lot of people who end up going to prison that are scared, what they do a lot of time, unfortunately, is they join gangs. So they join these prison organizations or these cars, right? Where you're really into it, right? So say if you aren't a fighter, right? If you're soft or just a timid person, you don't want to get in the mix at all. The worst thing you can do is join a gang. Whenever you join something, it goes like this. Once one person jumps or gets involved, then all of you are supposed to get involved. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just guidelines. You're supposed to be there for your comrades, for your brothers, for your homeboy, have your big homie, whatever it may be. You're supposed to ride with the crew. The problem is, whenever someone gets that close to the pro board anyways, nothing should be going on. They shouldn't be in the mix. Unfortunately, I've seen plenty of times where people receive the pro board in a month, in a week, in a couple of days, and people end up sending them on missions. Now, you're going to end up losing your parole. Just forget about parole. So you're going to either see them in a year or another 3 years. It depends on what type of sentence you have. In West Virginia here, if you have a murder charge, right? If you have a life sentence with possibility of parole, what they can do is whenever you actually do come up to the parole board, instead of giving you a year flat, which is they say no, they reject it, and you have to come back a year later, they will see you in 3 more years. So you get done doing the 15 years, come up to the parole board. If they don't like what they see, they're going to tack on in a whole nother 3. Number one, just don't join a gang. That way you never have to get put on any of these missions. Here in the state of West Virginia a couple years ago, DMI, we were pretty much wreaking havoc. And I mean like this. Whenever you have a lot of individuals that are younger, not mature, don't really think for themselves, hot-headed, will just do anything, there you have the crash test dummy. There you have a way for someone to be like, hey, I don't want to do this. These dudes will go and do this, so go over and do that. That was a big problem for us. That's why a lot of us end up getting rounded up for not doing anything, because you've got 2-3 dogs that end up going over to the other side of the prison, stabbing someone up and running back. Now, has it happened? Have people gotten away with it? Absolutely. We got away with it a lot, but then we got hit a lot as well. Big Dummy, individual who I just did a video with, he was one of those individuals. He was putting in hella work when he first got locked up. Now, once we start doing more time, started getting older, we start to realize there's no need for us to make a name for ourselves. At the end of the day, you don't have to be a feared person. You don't have to be this badass. You don't have to be the dude who they know is going to put in that knife work. As long as you hold your word as a man, because at the end of the day, that's all you have. That's gold. You don't need to go and want to poke up the next 2-3 people just because you want that name. You want that name. You know what I'm saying? People end up getting mixed up into the wrong thing and forgetting what's important. What's important is our lives out here on the streets. Not holding this title, not having this name while in prison, because at the end of the day, all that stuff is kind of irrelevant the moment you get out. I know that the COs, I know that the wardens have been watching my videos. At the end of the day, I'm not here to trash any of the prisons or any of the jail systems. I'm simply telling my story and others that have also went through the same prison systems and jail systems that I have. What we're doing is showing you what's really going on behind doors. At the end of the day, it is a whole nother city. It's a whole nother world. Things happen, and sometimes it doesn't get put in the newspaper. Unfortunately, a lot of these missions that people end up going put on, it doesn't come out on the news. The only way you're ever going to see that something ever end up happening like that is if someone holds their prison write-ups, brings them out, and shows the world. Time and time again, I've seen dudes with 1 to 3s. I've seen dudes with 1 to 5s getting ready to see the parole board, take a knife from somebody else, go into a cell and poke someone up really badly, right? And then not get to see the parole board for another 5 or 6 years. There's a few times people caught life sentences while in prison doing a 1 to 5. I just don't understand it, you know. Like I said, it literally boils down to this. The people who have small sentences and go and do big charges, big crimes in prison, clearly are more concerned about their name, their legacy, their nickname, whatever title that it is in prison. They're more worried about that than their freedom out here on the streets. I was one of those people. I felt like I needed to make a name for myself. I wanted people to respect me for whatever reason. These people, I don't even know. I don't know these people. Do you get what I'm saying? These dudes, once you get out of prison, majority, you're never going to see these dudes again because a lot of times they're not even from where you're from. I know every single person that does any type of prison content will vouch when I say, as long as you're yourself and you don't tell no lies, you go into prison, you will be perfectly fine. The moment you try to want people to fear you, you got to think you're in a prison filled with testosterone. No one is going to fear you. Do you get what I'm saying? You have a better chance of people respecting you as an individual opposed to fearing you. Now, I know a good bit of the people that watch my videos have never been to prison or jail. That's great. Keep doing your thing. But for the ones who have, go ahead and put it in the comment section. What's the craziest mission you've seen someone end up going on while in prison? I know we've all seen some crazy stuff go down. Most likely that person was either on a personal mission or a destructive mission from someone else. Go ahead and put down in the comments what's the craziest thing y'all have ever seen. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification button so you can be first informed when I upload. Today was just a short video on pretty much going on a dummy mission. That's all it ever boils down to. Any type of mission you go on in prison pretty much boils down to dummy missions because what you're doing is going to keep you in there a lot longer. Don't be a dummy. As always, guys, I send my utmost level of respect. Keep pushing positivity, guys. I hope you come back for more. We gone.